The Bell Witch, the voice that shouldn't have existed. Imagine lying awake in your house at night and hearing someone speak from the darkness. Not outside, not in another room, inside the walls. Now imagine that voice knows your name, your private conversations, your secrets. That is the story of the Bell Witch, one of the most famous and controversial haunting cases in American history. And whether you believe it was a ghost, a hoax, or something else entirely, the people involved seemed convinced they were experiencing something real. The story begins in 1817 on a farm in Tennessee owned by a man named John Bell. According to later accounts, the first strange event happened when John noticed an unusual animal in one of his fields. At a distance, it looked like a dog, but something seemed wrong. Witnesses later described it as having features that didn't quite match any known animal. When John approached, the creature disappeared into the woods. Most people would have forgotten about it, but not long afterward, strange noises began inside the Bell home. At first, they sounded ordinary, scratching in the walls, knocking sounds during the night, the kind of noises old houses sometimes make. The family searched for animals. They found nothing. The sounds continued. Then they became harder to explain. According to reports, John's daughter Betsy Bell began waking up terrified. She claimed something was pulling at her blankets while she slept. Sometimes she felt her hair being tugged by unseen hands. The family stayed awake to watch. Visitors were invited to witness the disturbances. And that's when the story took a dramatic turn. Because according to multiple accounts, the Bell house began producing something far stranger than noises. A voice. Witnesses described it as a woman's voice. It could whisper, it could shout, it could hold conversations. And perhaps, most disturbing of all, it seemed intelligent. People claimed the voice knew personal details about visitors, private information, conversations it shouldn't have heard. Some visitors reportedly arrived as skeptics and left deeply unsettled. One reason this case became so famous is that reports didn't come only from the Bell family. Neighbors claimed to hear the voice. Visitors claimed to hear it. Stories about the strange events spread throughout the region. Whether every account was accurate is impossible to know today, but the legend continued growing. Over time, witnesses claim the voice became particularly focused on John Bell himself. His health began to decline. He grew weaker. Speaking and swallowing became difficult. Doctors struggled to explain exactly what was happening. And according to reports, the mysterious voice seemed to take a disturbing interest in his condition. Then came the event that transformed the Bell Witch from a local ghost story into a lasting American legend. In December of 1820, John Bell was found unresponsive. Near his bed was a small vial containing an unknown liquid, a small glass bottle. The family reportedly didn't know where it had come from. Then, according to the story, the unseen voice spoke. It claimed responsibility. Some versions of the legend quote the voice as saying it had given John Bell a dose of liquid the night before. Was that actually said? There's no way to prove it today. Like many old stories, the details became more dramatic as the years passed. But the tale survived. More than 200 years later, people are still debating what really happened on that Tennessee farm. Was it an elaborate hoax, mass hysteria, a misunderstood illness, or something no one could explain? The truth may never be known, but perhaps why the Bell Witch remains so fascinating, not because it offers answers, because it doesn't. All these years, we're left with the same question the Bell family faced in 1817. What happened when something speaks, and nobody can find who's talking? And if you heard a voice from inside your walls tonight, how long would it take before you started listening back? The mystery never ends. What would you do if your walls started talking to you? Like, share, subscribe for more real stories.